On to episode 52 of the Main Golf Show. No Hep this week. Happy anniversary, Mr. Heppies. However, with this live on location, we'll have to film live on location for Valderrama, won't we? We'll be here next week for the Live Golf trip to Spain. We'll see Bryson DeChambeau in the flesh. See how big his biceps are. But it's just Marv and I have a look at the John Deere Classic and the BMW Open, Germany and in America for the PGA Tour. Marv, it's a bit of an anticlimax now until the Scottish Open and the Open Championship at Royal Port Rush. That's
It
your
is a little bit, yeah, just sort of like poor tournaments, really, isn't it? For a bit of a lull in the schedule. Nothing to get too excited about.
I was trying to watch the DP World Tour last week. It was the Italian Open. Half cry when he was really kind of celebrated. Obviously, they played it the same course where they did for the Ryder Cup in 2023. So you got a few people coming out and trying it in the years leading up to it. Really poor field last week, and you worry about the DP World Tour being very much a stepping stone. Lady finished second, a guy called Martin Couvra, 22-year-old Frenchman. He'll be on the PGA Tour sooner rather than later. His compatriot, Adrien Saddier, won at the belated 200th time of asking, big outside before, and I think 80 to 100, 100 to 1 last week, and you can probably expect something similar this week in Germany. The John Deere Classic, meanwhile, man, you found a bit of an angle with Ben Griffin, but he's like, I think it's something he's just set up for a long shot, such as the course, and needs someone to have a good week. But you haven't looked through, and apparently, previous winners wise, all class.
I'm kind of clutching, to be honest, but I don't fancy trying to find a long shot or two. I think I got burnt a few weeks ago. Don't think the guys even made the, was it Riley Davis or Cam Davis or something? They didn't even make the cut. So I think Griffin, and he's a reasonable price as a favourite. I think he's 16 to 1 top price. Now, in the last six tournaments I've played, don't think he's finished worse than sort of tied 14th, possibly. He is his fourth or fifth in a row, and maybe last week did look as though he was fading a little bit, but I think he's going to be thereabouts. And there's enough value in the place element, so I'm kind of just playing it safe, if I'm honest.
Yeah, so it's one of those where
This week, I'm not trying to go anything too
you
big.
can't make an overly strong case. It's no point kind of jumping in 5.2 during a 200 to 1 long shot Larry, as we would say. Just going back to last week, a guy we've talked about on the podcast beforehand, Aldrich, I can't pronounce his surname, Podgita, South African prodigy. He's still only 20, is he 20, 22? He showed a lot of bottle, I think, to make a couple of big pars in the playoff itself, and then drained a 15 foot of the fifth extra hole to beat Max Grazeman. Um, both players got a big future, but the South African lad in particular, it's the third time he's had the lead or he's been in contention overnight and entered the final round of the PGA Tour in Mexico. It was the first time, no, not Mexico, was it Bay Hill or Pebble Beach? It was somewhere like a really good course. He shot like 7, 8 over. And he did this around last year in South Africa, either the Joburg Open and South Africa, one of those courses at a par three, he made like a 6 or 7 and ruined his chance. But he hits it an absolute mile. He seems to be decent with the putter. And I think he's got a great future. So we'll see how it gets. The two to watch them, and we'll clip this up for future episodes.
I, I
Podgita
think
and Couvra,
he's,
two big stars in golf.
yeah, I think I looked. Has he got the second fastest swing basically for ball speed,
Yeah,
195 or something?
he's the longest on tour already
Yeah,
in such a young age. So yeah, big talent. I think when he gets older, he'll probably get a bit more better conditioning wise. Probably was a bit better with his diet. You know what I mean? Like, we were the same. Think about us in our early
well,
20s.
that's the thing. At the moment, I think he can. He's young,
Get away with it.
flexible. I wonder if Hep's flexible right now. But anyway, let's move on.
Yeah.
Yeah, young and flexible, and it doesn't matter if you're carrying a bit of, not really that much excess weight, but he uses it to his advantage at the moment, should we say?
Yeah, but either way, the winner on the PGA Tour at such a young age, he's kind of set for life now. 2 year exemption, win all the majors, all the big tournaments, and given how streaky he is, I think we mentioned before, streaky types of players, it's what you need. I think he's missed. Did he say something like he's missed five of his last eight cuts? But when he's been in contention, he's been really in contention. So when he's good, he's good. Like Mr. Powell once said. Um, I do think he played well this week. Probably too big around the 40 to one mark and 10 places, but probably can't put him up. Marv, you mentioned Ben Griffin. Anything else at bigger prices that's caught your eye?
Um, well, I'll give you my two selections. So yeah, Ben Griffin. I said generally 14s. You can actually get depends on what place terms you want. He's because he did have tied fifth at this tournament last year. So I'm going to go with him as the main selection, 3 points each way. I'll go with the 14s because I think 14s gets the six places. And the second selection, only the third favourite in the betting, another very steady player. Nobody flashy for me this week, or nobody volatile. Denny McCarthy, the last 3 years in this tournament, he has two tied sixth and a tied seventh. And he is, I believe, just double check, I think he's 25 to 1, top price, 22s generally. So yeah, 2 points each way for him. Said I'm just playing it to try and I think both will be up there, possibly contending a couple of places, and I'll be happy.
I'll do the absolute opposite. I do like the streaky players who could easily throw plenty of miscuts, but also throw a bit of banana skin. Gary Kigo is miraculously, he's a 25-year-old South African. Unless you're a golf fan, you have no idea who he is. He's a two-time winner on the DP World Tour. He's a two-time winner on the PGA Tour. Admittedly, some of these lesser Mickey Mouse events, he's 100 to 1 with 10 places. He can go low. He's another big hitting young South African. Um, Potentially inspired by his compatriot last week. Probably too big. Another lad who's carrying a bit of weight, will probably slim down in time, but hits him out. There's a Finn called Sam Valimaki. He got his tour card last year after playing on the DP World Tour. He's 66 to 1, and this is he probably won for first round leader because he started his tournament so well and kind of just struggles thereafter. But Valimaki 66 to 1 and 10 places. I think it's just too big. I think in these types of tournaments where resort courses, I think the phrase Het uses, right? A lot of Pete Dye type courses, you see length. Um, I know Steve Stricker won this tournament three times with Brian Harman, but as you've got towards the last few years, as opposed to 10 years ago, it
Yeah,
has now gone towards more length as opposed to accuracy. So we're taking a chance this week. Like, I can't say any fairer than that. 3 points each way, Sam Malamaki at 66 to 1, and 2 points each way on Gary Keogh, 100 to 1. I should say it was this week filming last year. I put up 2 points each way on Cam Davis at 70 to 1. So if history could repeat itself, I'll be very happy, and he might actually get a few points in the bag to make up on Marv and Hep, respectively. Marv, just quick note, we won't put any tips, but a few thoughts in Germany, because I know you're very, I won't say you're a big fan of him, but you find it interesting that a certain American's coming over to play the BMW International.
yeah, Mr. Patrick Reed.
Captain America.
It's he played it last year for whatever reason due to sort of him going to live what he can't play. He's available to play a few events on the DP World Tour and to get a few more world ranking points. 'Cause he probably certainly needs them. But he finished tied. I think he was tied 13th last year. He did lose by seven, but he shot one over in the final round when everybody else around him was two, three under, even six under. So I think he was well within it after 3 rounds, and his price is 12 to 1. It's again nothing, but it's just it. Patrick Reed, you're a Masters champion. If you are who you say you are, then Go and win this tournament. You just won last week on Live in Dallas. Whether you were out drinking all night and hungover on Monday and what, I don't care. Go and contend in this tournament where you should be the best player. So
You would say this, man. You'd rather back Reed. A lot of companies got Reed and David Puke to the price. I'd be backing Reed every day of the week over the Spaniard, the 23-year-old Spaniard from a class perspective. At least
yeah,
you win tournaments.
I could look down. I think Sergio's fifth favorite in this tournament. Jordan Smith, like who is Jordan Smith? Rasmus Near. I can't even pronounce
He's
his
a little
name.
part of this man.
I just it's Marco Peng. Like,
He won the Challenge Tour last
is he
year.
like
He
East
won
London
Penge, not Peng as in
guy?
what
Or
we would say.
I don't know. Like they
Penge
said,
won the chat. Penge
Couvra's
won
in
the
there.
Challenge Tour last year, and he won on tour himself 3 months ago.
You know,
It was a really cool tournament.
you,
Couvra's the one where he's Couvra and Nakajima.
I was just going to say Nakajima's in that 40s.
Those are the two where I'd be focusing on. I think Couvra is a fantastic player. He kept it so simple last week, and I think a bit like when you're riding the best horse in the race, he thought I just need to just make this simple, get away from again. Saddier never won in 200 starts. Finds going from the ninth to about the 16th, he made five birdies. He just couldn't miss. In the end, Couvra was three down entering the last. He birdied 18 from 18 feet, but the damage was done. But it was a bit like the jockey was just kind of, don't you see a jockey like looking around for dangers and some horse nips was inside out of nowhere? That was that. Those are the two for me. Couvra and Nakajima, both overpriced. Form is temporary, class is permanent. Marv, just give us your PGA Tour tips again, once again, for the listeners.
Yeah, tentative. Just trying to tick over with a couple of places to make us like profit, if I'm honest. Ben Griffin, generally, I'll go with 14s. 14s and six places is available. And Denny McCarthy, 22s and six places. So that's 3 points each way on Ben Griffin, 2 points each way on Denny McCarthy. And if you really fancy trying the double, maybe for a few quid on Patrick Reed and a double with Ben Griffin, it's about 220 to 1.
The spring double used to be the Lincoln and the Grand National. Now is actually going for the July double, trying to earn a few quid to throw some
Yeah.
money on some altcoins. I'd be very surprised if one of those two didn't make a bit of place money, but would be more speculative. We went for the international bombers, 3 points each way on Sammy Valimaki, vacating Finn, 2 points each way on Gary Ego, looking for his third PGA Tour win thus far. We'll be back next week to preview the Scottish Open, where a host of Americans will be freezing the tits off north of the border. And Hep will be with us before. We'll probably try and do a few bits and pieces where Hep and I will be live at Valderrama for Live Golf. I'll let you know if we can get a message. Could you try and get an interview with Bryson? Or should we try and get an interview with Sergio? Fuck off. And we'll see you next week.
Well, you never know. Bryson, he just after the end of the round, just wanders around town, doesn't he? You never know. You might stumble into him.
We'll buy him a bit of paella and a nice glass of vino. We'll see you all next week. Ta-ra.